You know, publicly, Donald Trump is thrilled to have Elon Musk's backing as a mega donor, a high-profile ally, someone who's willing to fund primaries against Republicans who refuse to bend the knee, and someone who's willing to relentlessly spread conspiracy theories on Trump's behalf to help them consolidate their power within the government. But we are now learning that Trump privately complains about a clingy Elon Musk, according to New York Times reporter Maggie Haberman, who does have a lot of access to Trump. She has built this access over the past few years. Not everybody is a fan of her, for good reasons, but her reporting is generally spot on. The president-elect is also not a fan of those President Musk jokes, journalist Maggie Haberman said during a podcast appearance. And I'll play the podcast appearance in 1 second, but just to run through the dynamics. Publicly, Trump is thrilled to have his mega donor and first buddy Elon Musk camping out just a few hundred feet from his house. Privately, he seems to be tiring of Musk dropping in whenever he feels like it. Quote, Trump does complain a bit to people about how Musk is around a lot. Also, after pouring more than $250 million into Trump's re-election effort, Musk has rented out a $2,000 per night Banyan Cannage at Trump's private Mar-a-Lago club so they can be close to each other. This is like breaking up with a girlfriend and then she moves in next to you to try to annoy you. It's just incredibly weird. It's not clear who will ultimately foot the bill for this cottage, which is just a few hundred feet from Trump's main residence and transition team headquarters. From Banyan, Musk has been able to attend Trump's personnel meetings and crash awkward dinners with rival tech billionaires like Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. And we should talk about the implications of this a little bit more, because when you have somebody constantly breathing down your neck that has power over your audience, has power over the MAGA people on Twitter, can control the narrative, and can also fund primaries for any Republicans that don't bend the knee, then the reverse is possible. He can spread pro-Trump propaganda, but imagine Trump pissing Elon Musk off. Then Elon Musk begins to spread liberal propaganda, or just spread conspiracy theories about Donald Trump. Or he starts funding primaries for moderate Republicans, or he starts to fund primaries so that MAGA candidates can't get into office because MAGA candidates tend to be pretty weak. Quote, he really parked himself in Trump's face, Haberman said. For now, Musk seems to be on the winning side of the MAGA civil war that's pitted Silicon Valley's regulation-hating tech bros against the original grassroots loyalists who have backed Trump since 2016. Now, I want to jump over and actually listen to a minute or two of what Maggie Haberman says, because I find it quite interesting. Then we'll break it down as we go.
Musk has been a major donor to Trump this campaign cycle, and he's sort of tied into a lot of various areas around Trump, which makes things more complicated. Where do I see it going? Musk seems more willing to irritate Trump than a lot of other people have been, and less concerned about what it might mean. I just continue to believe that once Trump gets to Washington, this is going to change a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't anticipate that Musk is going to have an office in the West Wing. I don't even know that he will have what's called a blue pass to wander around. I think it's blue, maybe it's green. But there's a pass you need to...
That you can just walk in.
You can just walk in. And I don't... it doesn't mean you can just walk straight into the Oval, but it's pretty close. And Trump also has historically had a really freewheeling office. He did it.
Right.
The Trump Organization, he did in his first term. So I don't think that people really want Musk, running around this way. But what that ends up looking like remains to be seen. Trump keeps people around for a long time.
Right.
If they are of use to him. And he almost never totally closes the door on somebody.
Not someone that's rich, not someone else.
Well, even somebody who's not this rich.
Right.
But yes, somebody who's this rich and who is willing to go, to fund primary challenges to lawmakers who might thwart Trump. Musk comes with something that, quote unquote, President Bannon did not, which is a lot of money. And I think that buys him a fair amount of time. But I just think that when Trump goes to Washington and he's not sitting on the patio, when Musk can walk over from Banyan Cottage, where he's been staying, I think it's going to be tougher.
Tougher for Musk.
Tougher for Musk, yeah. I mean, I don't think it's going to completely change. These things are it's like watching shifting sands around Trump. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like this one's up, this one's down, and I don't but nobody's ever totally out, and I don't expect Musk will be. But it's a fraught relationship, as you know, or has potential for becoming more so. You are correct that they are not dissimilar. You know, Trump usually delegates dealing with unpleasant interpersonal tasks to people around him. I think a bunch of people around him are also struggling with how aggressive Musk can be in their interactions.
Right,
so,
right. No, I've heard from them oddly enough.
And so I don't know what that ends up looking like. But do I also think that if you ask them publicly, they would all say,
"What a great entrepreneur!
Musk is a great supporter," and this is like I think that's true too.
Yeah, yeah. So when you look at that, is there something a line he could cross? Is Trump bothered by the President Musk thing? He did address it, and he seemed
no, he didn't bring that up because it doesn't bother him.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
It definitely bothers him.
The puppet master pictures, etc.
Yeah, I mean, just the President Musk line was always going to be a way to get him. And I mean,
Right.
Trump's not a wind-up toy, but there certainly are very specific things that can zotz him. And
let me pause it right here because she just made an interesting point. Trump is not a wind-up toy, but you can definitely bait him in certain ways. And a great example of that is what Kamala Harris did during their presidential debate. You can see it in real time. She lays the trap about crowd sizes or about other stuff, and Trump perfectly walks into it. So if we can kind of use that same tactic with the President Musk line repeatedly, and I'm not saying we create division between them, but we just continue to show that President Musk, it is President Musk. Now, Maggie Haberman said a few things. Elon Musk is incredibly aggressive and during a lot of interpersonal interactions at Mar-a-Lago or during these meetings, which has shocked a lot of the people in Trump's team. And if Elon Musk continues to do this or overstep his boundaries or continue trying to follow Trump around like a little puppy, inevitably Trump is going to get sick of it. I would get sick of it. I couldn't imagine that. And I have a little bit more of this to play, but this ties into a broader theme of Trump hiring or appointing the richest cabinet in American history. Americans for Tax Fairness tweeted out the other day, breaking news, Trump's wealthy cabinet nominees and transition officials are worth a combined $313 billion. That's 616 times higher than the mean wealth of the typical American household, and I'm pretty sure it's about 1,500 times higher than President Biden's administration. This is how you build a system that only works for the wealthy and their corporations. And it's just so incredibly hilarious because people voted for Elon Musk. I meant to say people voted for Donald Trump, but what's the difference anymore? People voted for Trump because they thought that he was going to work on their behalf. He was going to shake up the system, drain the swamp, and make sure all of these billionaire politicians aren't pulling the strings behind the scenes. But that's exactly what he just created. He created his own new swamp of people who are incentivized in every way to protect their corporate interest, to cut any sort of regulations that they deem as a burden on their business, but that are necessary. We're going to go back to the regulations of 1972, and it's not going to be a good thing. Here's an analysis done by CNN showing that Trump is stocking his administration with billionaires, Fox News contributors, and allies who spend money at Mar-a-Lago. He's building a team to protect his own bottom line. Watch this quick clip.
There are a lot of fun numbers when it comes to this. How about billionaires, all right? How many Trump administration picks are billionaires? At least five. At least five are billionaires. I wish I was a billionaire. Here it is in photo form. You can see it on your screen. You know, you get folks like Elon Musk, well-known, Vivek Ramaswamy, well-known, Stephen Witkoff, who I actually know, well-known in New York circles for his real estate dealings. How about those on Fox News? It's not just Pete Hegseth, right? How about this? At least 11 Fox News hosts or contributors. Again, you just see, it's just so many names on here. My goodness gracious. We've got 11 on here. And finally, how about Mar-a-Lago? You know, Trump administration picks who hosted or co-hosted events at Mar-a-Lago. Look at this number. It is 12, including those who co-hosted events at Mar-a-Lago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 with Lee Zeldin. The bottom line is this, is that Trump is someone who feeds on people being loyal to him, and there's no greater sign of loyalty than hosting or co-hosting an event at Mar-a-Lago, and so that's what we got.
It's the most obvious exchange ever. Hey, if you host a few events at Mar-a-Lago, if you spend your money at my hotels, then you'll get a chance to be in my administration. It's like backdoor lobbying almost. Rather than donating directly, you just make sure you donate to his business repeatedly by hosting events there. But going back to this podcast with Maggie Haberman, she says a few more interesting things on the Kara Swisher podcast.
So how influential of all the advisors, is he the most influential right now, Elon Musk? Yeah.
No.
No.
But he is influential.
Right.
No, Stephen Miller is and Susie Wiles are the two most influential
Very different people.
advisors. Very different people, but
The reason why Susie Wiles is so influential, by the way, is because she doesn't want the spotlight. If you look her up over the past 10 years, she's done like 3 interviews, and that's very intentional. She's been making a long play to be the person behind the scenes. So as much as Elon Musk does seem like the puppet master, I will say Susie Wiles is largely pulling a lot of the strings, but it's not as easy to pit Susie Wiles against Trump, because something I'll say is Susie Wiles is clever. Susie Wiles is conniving. Susie Wiles is a clever-ass strategist. But let's continue.
they are the two.
Who could you talk a little bit about her? For what is her role right now? Because she seems to let Trump be Trump. If I'm going to use a West Wing term,
she does let Trump be Trump, but she also, historically, in our reporting, picks her spots, and there are spots where she, makes her influence known, and she ran the most effective version of the Trump political organization that has existed. She's also the only person who has survived a full campaign in that role. And that is...
She knows what she's doing, and it's largely because she doesn't want the spotlight.
It's not nothing, especially given everything that was going on with the legal cases and assassination attempts and a criminal case in the middle of the campaign.
Let's go back to this main article. It finishes off by saying, for now, Musk seems to be on the winning side of the MAGA civil war that's pitted Silicon Valley's regulation-halting tech bros against the original grassroots loyalists who have backed Trump since 2016, like Laura Loomer, but it's not clear how long that'll last. Trump hasn't even taken office yet, and already Musk has inserted himself in policy battles to the points of Democrats calling him President Musk. Quote, it definitely bothers him, Haberman said of Trump's reaction to the taunt. The President Musk line was always going to be a way to get him. Trump's not a wind-up toy, but there are certainly very specific things that can zas him. Trump is a one-ring circus, according to his longtime friends, and quote, I'm not sure Musk has figured that out yet, Haberman added. She predicted that Musk will try to maintain his current level of physical proximity to Trump even after the inauguration on January 20th. It's literally like you moving colleges and then your ex-girlfriend follows you to the next college. But it's likely to be far more difficult once the Trump apparatus moves from Mar-a-Lago to the White House. Quote, I don't anticipate that Musk is going to have an office in the West Wing, Haberman said. I don't even know that he'll have a blue pass to wander around. The blue pass gives staffers access to White House and executive office building. Despite his hanging around, Musk isn't Trump's most influential advisor, as we just heard. Those would be Trump's deputy campaign manager turned chief of staff, Susie Wiles, and his white nationalist deputy chief of staff, Stephen Miller. Publicly, Trump's inner circle can all say what a great supporter Musk is, but we know that there has been a lot of drama privately. Remember about a month or two back when Musk apparently got into a huge fight with Boris Epstein, because Epstein said that Musk is a newcomer and that he's overstaying his welcome, and then Musk said, you're the one that leaked this or that, and it just ended up, Musk won. Boris Epstein was the one that lost that one, but, quote, I think a bunch of people around him are also struggling with how aggressive Musk can be in their interactions. Musk, she noted, seems more willing to irritate Trump than some of his other advisors. And I could see that. You could see the way that they're sitting next to each other, and Elon Musk will show Trump a meme. It is irritating, for sure. Quote, it's like watching shifting sands around Trump, Haberman said. I guess for now, Musk's financial contributions and his ability to fund primary campaigns for any MAGA candidates who don't fall in line likely outweighs the irritation he causes to Trump and his team. But as Trump transitions from Mar-a-Lago back to the White House, he may try to dampen Musk's ability to be around him, like we were just reading here. He likely won't have a blue pass. Just to finish us off, the power dynamic between Trump and Elon Musk, I'd say is a microcosm of a larger dynamic between billionaires and politics and the shifting alliances of the Republican Party. The part that bothers me, and I'm sure it bothers you as well, is how Trump is able to run as this populist candidate who helps the average person without actually naming any policies, and while being funded by straight up billionaire after billionaire after billionaire. And of course, billionaires donate to Kamala's campaign too, but she's not so entrenched with them. She's not beholden to them. She's not going to bring them with her to the White House. Again, Trump's cabinet is about 1,000 times richer than Biden's cabinet, which is insane. Kamala Harris had substantial policies for small business owners, for people in college, for first-time home buyers that would help these people, incentives that would help these people. Meanwhile, Trump was able to run on nothing but, I guess, catchy slogans, and that ended up working. Shout out to Susie Wiles, I guess. But make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.